We are live from the Dirtfish jump. In previous years, this was called the Boyd jump.
I'm here too.
Yes. We've got Austin here, we've got Katie, and we've got Ryan up on top of the roof doing our pan and cam. We're not going to talk for very long because cars are on course, so we should have here in just a couple seconds. And then when they got to the end of the stage, their brakes caught on fire because the tire wrapped around the brakes and lit up.
That's a pretty neat trick, honestly.
It really is. They gotta teach me how to do that.
Let's not. My fire extinguisher is old.
I'm not saying here. We are in a large grass field just next to the jump.
Yeah, let's talk about where we're at. We are on the Boyd Loop stage. This is the Dirtfish jump. Thank you so much for Dirtfish Rally School for sponsoring the stage this year. We have, should be Andy Miller, Sean Tracy coming up next.
That is correct.
I can hear him. How about we watch him?
Sorry about that, guys. Looks like our handheld mics were off, but you were able to hear us through the shotgun mic up there. So hopefully this is a bit better. Yes, they definitely turned down the wind makers today. There's just a light breeze coming towards us from beautiful Mount Hood, which should help the dust clear out in between cars.
Now it should be Andy Miller and Sean Tracy because they were P3, right?
Oh, sorry, yes. That was Georgie McGinnis and Michael Sheswick.
Apologies, Georgie and Michael.
Beautifully smooth jump from Andy there.
I like the noise they make when they go off the drum. It just goes whoop.
Indeed, it is a wonderful noise.
It's very interesting to see a car traveling that fast and then just become silent and airborne.
There is a little bit of a strategy to how far you can go on this jump.
Tell me about it.
So it's a very short run up to it, about 1 mile long, and it's very fast. You stay basically flat the whole time. But right before the jump, you need to set the car slightly to the right on the crest, pointing slightly to the left. That is going to give you the most air. This is coming from someone who has flown 95 feet in a 1995 Impreza.
And bent it.
That car was bent before I got it.
And more bent after you got rid of it.
Absolutely.
As any car should be.
Indeed.
All right, who's number 4 on the road today?
That's a great question that I should definitely.
Oh, it's Eric Frenches, our buddy. We knew that. He was flying yesterday in that hatch and absolutely moved like miles up the start order. He's starting in 4th today. Super excited for those two in that ride. Hopefully they pull it through the rest of the day, and we'll see him at the finish. Actually, we'll see him again on this stage because we'll stream this stage twice, but we're going to move maybe a half mile about that way and give you guys a little different perspective. We won't be at the jump for both runnings today.
Next on the road is going to be Josh Gearman and Gavin Bowen in their Super Impreza with a 3-liter.
We're watching the live chat with the feed pause. That kind of porpoised a little on landing, it looked like.
A little bit. Josh runs without a wing, so that definitely doesn't help the GCs over the jump. They like to nose over slightly without any rear downforce to them.
And maybe if Ryan can play along, we have some mountains in the background. We should explain which those are to you. I believe the one directly in front of us is Mount Hood, right, Alex?
That is correct. That is Mount Hood. That is the tallest mountain in Oregon.
And if we look to our right, I believe we see the top of Mount Adams.
That is Mount Adams indeed.
And just peeking over to the right of Mount Adams, I believe that's Mount St. Helens, right?
Rainier.
That is Rainier. Mount St. Helens is going to be to your left and in clouds.
I was close, man. There's so many mountains out here. Thankfully, that one does look a little different, and that top Rainier is pretty flat, so I don't feel too bad about that.
Yes, and Mount Rainier is the tallest mountain in Washington.
Yeah. This is they're all part of the Cascade Mountain Range, which is a volcanic mountain range that runs from British Columbia through Oregon and down into California.
That was Andrew Rivas in his old Rocket Rally Crosstrek.
Kind of nosedivey again, too. Maybe not all the way on full kill right now.
Correct. He was definitely lifting over the jump, which I do not recommend lifting over the jump. It will give you a forward moment, and you end up eating some dirt with the front of your car.
It's certainly a full commit moment. We've seen some harrowing nosedives over the years sitting here live streaming this jump. So hopefully nothing too dramatic today, but I'd love to see the cars flying through the air.
Indeed. It is always a fun time with flying cars. I believe
This car's flying.
that is Julian Sabot. Or no, that's Brenton Kelly, actually.
Oh, it is Brenton Kelly, isn't it?
Yeah, in the Stephen Red Racing Ford Fiesta R5 Mark I.
So our POV is quite small, and we're kind of actually lower than the race course where we're sitting. The camera you're watching is actually on top of my truck being run by Ryan from Melee, who's risking his life to bring you this media. So
Here, let's just show you Ryan's position there for fun.
we're going to do cameraception here. I think this is how cameras catch on fire, is when they
Wave to
look
the
at each
camera,
other.
Ryan.
Wave to my camera.
We deeply appreciate the help that the whole Melee team, especially Ryan and Mitch, have provided for this live stream this weekend. They're not only bringing the moving camera when it's an option, but they provided a lot of the equipment to frankly make the stream possible. So it's wouldn't be possible without them.
And there is Vivian Campbell. Curious where Julian is. He was supposed to be between Andrew and Brenton in the start order. So,
I still forgot to queue up some Def Leppard for when he comes by.
indeed.
If we don't get this stream DMCA strict at least once this week, and did we really do it right?
As you can see, it's a beautiful day, a little bit warmer.
It's nice.
We're wearing t-shirts today, which is great.
I was setting up and I was like, man, I'm getting hot. What is this?
Definitely going to be sunburned by the end of this.
Yeah, I think the backs of my hands are pretty roasted from yesterday. Everything else was had sunscreen. I didn't put any there.
We hope you guys were able to tune in for the Park Expose live stream with Dylan Hooker, our man on the ground.
The man with the feet. He's on the move.
He
always.
does have feet. I can confirm this.
Saw them last night in our hotel room.
We don't talk about that.
We had to pay money for that.
There's Julian.
He's moving pretty good.
Absolutely. Those Fiesta Rally 4s are wonderful pieces of engineering. They are very capable for a front-wheel drive car.
I just want to do this for a second after this part. I can't do that in that mode. I guess I could, but this works too.
I believe that's going to be John Hill up next in his Ford Escort, as we can hear from far, far away.
That's funny. God, that sounds good. Let's listen to it.
Taking a very conservative jump from John Hill.
Let's listen to the dinosaurs sing the song of their people.
Brat, brat.
This is the Dirtfish jump, but this event wouldn't be possible without the myriad sponsors that the event has this year, including Dirtfish, who has six team members competing out here this weekend. We got O'Reilly Auto Parts. We got Eric Zabla, who we're going to see coming through pretty soon from State Farm Insurance. He can't insure your jump, but he could insure your boat. Check it out. Again, Melee design firm for everything they do, creating media and bringing these races to your screens all around the globe. And Trackside Motorsports, the #1 place in Portland to get your daily driver, race car, drag car, rally car work done.
And now let's go back to the jump, because we've got Madeline Tabor coming up right now. Nice flat jump from Madeline and Krista.
She's cooking, man. I talked to her last night. I caught up with her. The Tabor family bought us dinner. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mark.
Team Tabor.
We really appreciate it.
We can be bribed in that way, I suppose. I got to catch up with Maddie after the race. She was pretty excited. She had a really good day. She's growing a lot with Krista in the car. She uses these times when she's able to have a really experienced co-driver in there to bring in that knowledge and then do a knowledge transfer back with Sophia, who's her usual co-driver, and they're working on building up their speed that way. And sounds like she had a really good day. It was a redemption for her. She actually rolled on the stages we were out on last year. And so she actually wasn't able to do this in her fancy car last year. So that was probably the first time she's driven a Rally 3 over that jump.
Oh, absolutely. And those Rally 3s, they sure fly very nicely.
Very nice.
Next up should be Drew Coley and Chad Holloway in their Subaru WRX. They're very quiet, so we're going to be extra quiet for
One of
you.
those RC cars.
It is the RC car.
I did hear turbo whistle.
I did hear a little chirp.
Yeah, I heard a choo. Oh, you know what I heard last night when I was rewatching the stream? Jacob Sturgeon has compressor surge all the way down through the section we're watching at Dallas Mountain, and it sounds awesome.
Yes, he does. That car does sound quite nice.
Yeah, you should find that timestamp link and send it to him. He'd appreciate that. Otherwise, he'll make me do it.
Exactly.
Isn't that the nice thing about that?
Yeah, that's quite nice to be able to just adjust the camera with a little tap. Let's see who's up next. We've got Henry Tabor.
Oh, speaking of Tabors,
And
he's
Leia
way up in the
Brissett.
start order. Nice.
Little tire bite on landing there. But a wonderful, wonderful jump from Henry. I had a little chat with him on how to send it as hard as he could last night at dinner.
He looks like he went pretty far there, too.
I would agree. We don't have the jump distances here because we can't see the markers from where we're sitting. But we do have Aaron taking the jump distance readings from closer up.
For what it's worth, that Dirtfish sign right there is just about, 80 feet from the jump? No, 40 feet.
That's about 40 to 50.
the mountain that we're in line with is closer to the 120 mark. So when we're looking at Mount Hood and the car drives past Mount Hood, that's about 120 feet after the jump. And we probably won't have too many people touch that, but there have been years when Travis Pastrana has made it a personal mission to reset the record.
Absolutely. He does hold the record currently, I believe. And there's Pat Darrow in the fire-breathing Volvo.
I would pay so much money to watch a Volvo like that take that record from him, though. At least $1.
I do remember the year that Chase Hovinga tried to do that.
He certainly tried.
Volvo 940.
That was maximum send. I think they installed a second engine to be able to go that fast over that jump.
Absolutely, a jet engine.
Something.
Borrowed it from a Saab.
Good old fighter jet.
Next up, we have the man that bought us dinner last night, Mark Tabor. Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's see what Mark's going to do over the jump. Is he going to beat his son's jump distance?
Mark's a little conservative on the jump. I think he's been on this road enough that he knows he isn't going to win it by jumping the furthest, right?
Fair enough.
It's not necessarily the fastest way. That sounded like a pretty hard landing, though.
He did nose over slightly, but you could tell he was flat through the whole thing.
Yeah. Got to beat that kid somehow, right?
Indeed.
Here's the hint. You can detune his car. Just take the turbo off of it. He'd never know.
What do you think Mark got on that?
Or
What do you guys think?
get him into an open two car so he's not in your class anymore.
Get him in something that you don't have to race him in. Although it is pretty cool to see a father-son team competing with each other out here. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is fun to see the competition and see if we can add a little fuel to that fire.
That is a beautifully flat jump from Zach Lord there.
Full extension.
You can see that the wing makes a difference.
Yeah, that flew perfectly flat. All the way through that. Little nose up, probably exactly how you want it, with more weight up in the front of the car when you land.
Absolutely. I can tell you from experience, the GC Subarus do fly very flat when you have a wing on them.
Grab a drink. Apologies, folks.
He needs his caffeine. He needs to feed. I see the chatter about Tillamook roads. We do have some in Columbia County. Isn't that right now?
Yeah,
Some roads, yes. We run the Mike Nagel Regional Rally out in Columbia County.
Over by St. Helens.
Near St. Helens, indeed. There's Jonathan Myers in his Subaru STI. Beautiful jump from him. Little tire bite on landing. If you pay close attention, you can hear it. It's a little eek when they land, and it's just the rally tires hitting their fenders and causing a little bit of squeak.
Got to get that coffee sometimes, you know? When we got here, we got set up, just hadn't had a chance to pour myself a cup yet.
The Subarari is still legal per the rules. Sam has just been very busy. We hope to see him back out here very soon, though. Got Sean Doro rolling over the jump. He has had some incidents with the jump in the past, breaking his front suspension on multiple occasions, so probably best to just take it easy after his DNF yesterday.
Oh, it still is.
Yeah.
Let's try to keep the dust off this as much as possible. Oh, okay. Just hold this over here. Everything doing good over there?
Good morning, Zach. Wish you were here. Hope you're having a great weekend. In chat, definitely listen to @Rally Hooker. That is Dylan Hooker. He has been an organizer for the Oregon Rally Group events for many, many years, and is
One of
going
our
to be
live stream co-hosts.
Exactly.
He was on Dallas Mountain yesterday with us. I think he's trying to come up and be with the second running of Boyd with us. We'll see.
And there is Michael Hahn and Colin Katagiri, who replaced their engine last night after dropping a valve coming into the final MTC of yesterday.
It was like 3 a.m. I saw a message. It was started for the first time.
Absolutely. They are borrowing an engine from one of their crew guys. Took
That's
the
Rally,
engine
though.
out, retuned it, and they're going to send it today and hopefully not leave with 2 cars on a trailer.
And someone got a free tune on their engine out of the deal, so not exactly how that works. I know.
Hood River roads would be nice to go back to. That is something that all of us want to try to do. But that will take some work.
Alex. Just bouncing between 3 and 6.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we're teaching.
That was Jeffrey Olmsted. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That was Chris Miller in his
BRZ, right?
BRZ. FRS, technically.
BRZ FRS. AKS. What's the difference?
Couldn't tell you.
I will say some of the Toyota versions have some pretty cool special editions that you can get nowadays.
Ooh, the Hakone.
Yeah, I was going to say there's like a green, there's a yellow. I saw an orange one. I'm not sure if it was wrapped. But as we've maybe discussed, I'm kind of a sucker for like a special edition car, limited color.
Indeed. Yeah, this is Garrett Strickland. A little bit of a nose over.
Very
Heard him-
limited color, too.
Very, yes. He nosed over on the jump because he lifted right before the top of it. Can't do that.
It's so counterintuitive. Like, you know, you're driving up this road, you got one of your bus buddies in the passenger seat, probably yelling at you, and you got to keep your foot down to actually keep it safer coming over this, or for the car at least. Not necessarily faster is necessarily safer. And it's just counterintuitive. It's not easy to do, right?
No, definitely not. You have to have commitment on these Oregon Trail Rally roads in order to be fast and safe out here. You gotta stick with it because the roads will reward you for doing that.
Full commit, no quitting.
Yep, full push. It's the same story with the water splash. You need to hit that at least 80 miles an hour, otherwise you won't skip, and then you're going to start damaging stuff.
I'm going to remove El Bumper O.
There's Sean Edwards in his Volvo 242, absolutely flying down the stage.
None of the photographers that way are sitting, right?
Correct.
It's fine. He's not off the road. I just couldn't quite tell. I can see the top of one dude's head. I couldn't tell if he was sitting or kneeling.
They're standing.
It's a good thing we could mention here, since you're seeing him in the shot here. A lot of these people you see in front of us are the actual media team, kind of like Ryan, but usually hired by privateers or even out here just because they enjoy shooting cameras so much. Taking photos of the racers, making videos, and media out here is a inherently dangerous thing. And you'll see a couple different classes of vests. You see Alex and I here in the blue vest. There are also red vest media, and that's new media to the sport, learning the ins and outs of everything. And you know, a car coming over a jump at 100 miles an hour can lose a part and become a missile real quick.
There's Jeffrey Olmsted taking it gentle over the jump.
And so there's a lot of safety we pay attention to out here. And actually, we have a satellite picture of where we are allowed and are not allowed to be in this area. And as part of our roles with coordinating the event, we just got to sort of make sure everyone's following those rules, because there's not always someone watching them, right?
Indeed. Got to keep everyone safe so we can keep doing this forever.
Yep, it isn't about being fun runners. It's about making sure we can keep having fun, right?
Absolutely. Well said. All right, who is up next? Up next, we should have Sage Van Tilburg and his Subaru BRZ.
Kind of a gap to this one, though. And that doesn't not necessarily sound like a BRZ. It is a BRZ.
Sure is a BRZ. A little bit of a tank slapper.
A little bottom
on the
slap
rear
back
end
there. Yeah. That thing has a lot of intake noise.
It sure does.
Yeah, it sounds like a ITB car almost, the way it's screaming.
It might be running the GR86 carbon front intake scoop. It's a very cool intake box that's not cheap. That takes the intake air from the top of the radiator opening on those.
Yeah, it had a lot of induction noise. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes, indeed. We do love to hear induction noise. I don't know. I think my favorite sounding car has to be the Stephen Red Racing EZ30 hatch because it's got crazy
yeah.
induction noises and it's
Yeah.
got a very smooth exhaust tone. Here's Charles Watson.
Nice smooth jump right there.
A little blow-off valve action over the jump.
I wasn't going to let him have that Stephen Red Racing call out, but I got to agree, that car does sound pretty ludicrous. I got some to play with some really cool media of it, once again, from the team at Melee Media, up at Olympus. And, man, that car sounds great. And it's got a Porsche engine there, right?
Basically. There's some Porsche.
Basically a GT3 RS in a hatchback form. Let's just be honest here.
It's a D-stroke GT3 RS engine, don't you know?
The internet hates the fact we called it a Porsche so many times that weekend.
You know, there are some Porsche parts in the EZ30R engine, which is the second generation of that engine.
Interesting.
It's a very similar valve control system with the variable lift and variable timing on the intake cam.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's similar to Porsche Vario Cam.
Also didn't add the more you know meme, but definitely adding that for next year.
There's Jack Harrison,
Nice smooth
not
jump.
lifting at all over that jump.
No. You heard that rev limiter in the air that time.
Goodbye, mountain.
It is all slowly disappearing.
Michael,
Other mountain.
I can agree with that for the most part, but I promise you, you need to go look up the sound from that car because it is unreal. It's got the intake noise and the exhaust note.
Yeah.
No turbo, though.
And it will shoot a fireball
That is true.
without a turbo, which is impressive.
There's Michael George picking up the pace.
Speaking of picking up, we're about halfway through the running right now. Once this one's over, we're going to pick up everything right here. We're going to move about a quarter mile, half mile down the road, and we'll be coming at you from the same stage, but with a little different view this time. Next time.
It's a very, very cool view from there. You get a lot of shot of the car going through some delta, little hairpin, and then dropping into a little gully that they come back out of and to the left.
We're going to have to give Ryan some extra plantain chips to make sure he has enough energy to do all that panning.
Might have to set up an IV drip bag of Red Bull for him.
I think he'd prefer tea probably, but yes.
Fair enough. And with 100% more Dylan. You are so right, man. The energy level is going to just be off the charts for the second running.
100% more Dylan. It's 100% accurate.
That looks like Elijah in his E36.
That guy's got a good idea way over there at that long lens. He's probably got a pretty cool shot down the cannon.
Absolutely. There are some good shots at this jump from so many different angles that the photographers tend to get every single year.
Yeah. You don't have to be on the fence to get the shot here. That's kind of one of the cool things about this location, at least, because A lot of these locations don't have the ability for us to kind of like come out in a field like this necessarily. This is private property, and we have permission to be here. Thank you so much to these landowners. Again, the stream, the race would not be possible without their cooperation and support of the event, honestly.
Indeed, they really make this possible. There's Ben Burt in his Super Impreza. As we've discussed with those first-gen Imprezas, that one did have a little bit of a nose over, but he was still flat through that. That's the wing. If you are thinking about whether you should put a wing on your rally car or not, the answer is absolutely put a wing on it.
But yeah, this location gives them, I mean, we have photographers starting, all the way off to my right to 180 degrees to my left, 40, 50 feet in front of us, all the way to in line with us. There's just a lot of different angles you can take to shoot this stage, specifically this jump, and what you want to capture, because you got the mountain. So I think the guy over on the right is probably shooting through Mount Hood. The guy down there is probably getting Mount Adams. And it's a really dynamic stage. And I think I heard them. I can't quite see them. The landowners on the opposite side of the road, every year ride their dirt bikes up to come in and watch the race cars come through the back end of their property, which is really cool to see.
Indeed. And they took it nice and easy.
And really, could you blame them? If a race like this went through the back of your property, you'd get a motorcycle and ride up to it, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Probably doing the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's got to spectate in their own way, you know?
Yep. And like, not that we're disrespectful or in any possible sort of the way. In fact, we try our hardest to be the opposite. But we are taking up their road for the day. It is an annoyance for them, and we appreciate their support coming out. It's really cool to not see indifference, but actually see support for the event.
Indeed. The landowners out on Boyd Loop are very, very respectful to us, and we really appreciate them.
Yes, we respect in kind. Thank you, folks.
All right, let's see who's next.
In fact, I picked up a couple pieces of trash that I think are probably from several OTRs ago that probably fell out of someone's car because there were some unopened water bottles out here. They look like they've been out here for a couple of years.
Here's Lee Parsons. Taking it a little easy and definitely a big lift over the jump.
Kind of a squeak when he landed, too, more than like a...
Tire bite.
Ah, that's what that was. You're right. That was a high-pitched little chirp of that tread in that fender well there.
Just like that.
That's the thing I don't like about that phone. So, thank you for validating me. What? Oh, you're recording an Instagram. I don't do that necessarily, so I won't take credit for that. A little bit of a gap to this next car. Who are we supposed to be seeing next?
We should be seeing Ethan Hanneman and Jack Wiles in the Caliber.
Jack Gillowiles.
I caught up with Jack at dinner last night, and apparently the reason they stopped running yesterday was a bad wheel bearing.
Unfortunate.
But they were able to get it fixed, and they are back out here today, keeping it clean over the jump, as to not break anything else.
Yes, it was awesome catching up with Jack, and actually Henry is where we sat for dinner last night.
The great thing about Rally is not the cars. The cars are cool. The racing's cool. But the real thing about Rally that makes it the best motorsport in the world are the people.
Yep, the friends you make along the way. I realized that as we were walking into the meat spot last night and knew someone at every table and wanted to say hi to someone at every table. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it takes like 15 minutes just to get to the table you want to sit at because you're just talking to people. And leaving is even worse.
Leaving is like what? It's the Midwest goodbye, right? Like the longest Midwest goodbye ever?
Oh, yeah. Exactly. And we've got Craig Evans taking it nice and easy over the jump.
Kitty's our Midwest expert as the local, what are you, Michigonian? Michigander. All these made-up words, man.
We'll take a Michigander at all the clouds covering Mount Hood right now. Hopefully they clear out.
The clouder of... Take a gander at the clouder of clouds.
No, Michigander.
Take a Michigander at the clouder of clouds. Currently blocking Y East.
Wyeast, that is the native name for Mount Hood.
It's the proper name, probably.
It is the proper name. Absolutely.
Actually, Mount Hood sounds cool, but Wyeast sounds way better.
Oh, it's
I'm
way
here for a name with an apostrophe in it.
As someone who went to Wyeast Middle School in
you go.
Hood River County, I would agree with that.
And, renaming something that was already named isn't super cool. But
Agreed.
who do we got going now?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's Karen.
That is Karen
That's the top of a Dodge
Jankowski.
Neon. I didn't need to see anything other than that. I saw the roof scoop and the roof line. I was like, that's Karen.
I'm sure Karen went over that jump and was like, oh, I could probably go farther now because I have real rally suspension.
Yeah, that was probably a little tentative. Unfortunately, we won't be to see if she really sends it the second time, but I would hope she truly tests out her new suspension. Otherwise, how do you know it works?
Exactly. This is your best opportunity to find any weak point you have in your suspension setup.
If something goes wrong, there's like 16 E-Crew people that would be stoked to tow you out.
Yeah, we do want to give a big shout out specifically to our sweet volunteers because they put in a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that all the competitors are safe. They're the ones pulling you out when you stuff it. They're the ones pulling you out when you break something. And they're going to be the first on scene if for some reason you get hurt, which hopefully you don't.
There's our insurance agent, Eric Zabla, and that Focus ST we decided it was yesterday.
Correct. It is a Focus ST, not an RS.
Pretty smooth jump.
Yes, absolutely. That was a nice clean jump from Eric.
And he's been campaigning that car for a few years now. I think it's had some teething issues, but he's been consistent at every stage this weekend, and it's pretty cool to see.
It is really nice to see. He's had a ton of just weird failures going through his first couple of years of rally. And
Teething issues. They built
Yeah.
that car was new to him, or built by him, right? So that's just sort of what happens. And you'll go through the same thing after building your car.
hopefully not.
It's got to set the expectations right? A couple things, it just means you found the weak points initially, right?
Well, oh God.
Speaking of weak points. I was going to help.
Somebody clip that right now.
There's zero chance I wouldn't have rolled over with him if I tried to help him with that. And it's pretty soft. The grass is like 2 feet
That was
long.
the slowest
Yeah.
back roll out of a chair I've ever had.
So anyways, by the way, still not flat.
No, not flat here. There's a little dip behind us. Anyway,
Oh, God. Your foot just went up.
that was Brian Miller and Cindy Carlson and their E36 that went by while
What if
we
I
were
just sat
dying.
here and watched that happen? Like, it was really in slow motion. But nothing I could have done would have stopped you from going backwards.
I couldn't grab onto the table because then I'd take all of you with me, and that would have been real bad. I don't want to break any more of Austin's
I was gonna
toys.
say, 2 of my most expensive toys are on the table.
And there's Josie Rimmer and Michelle Miller in their BRZ.
All my expensive toys. The other one's behind us. The other
your
one full
truck?
of all my expensive toys.
I was about to say your truck. I wouldn't call that expensive. How much did you buy that thing for again?
Less than pretty much every part I bolted onto it. It was like $600 when I bought it.
It's a good deal.
But
If you
I've
want
had
a cheap
it for,
car, buy Mitsubishi Montero.
They're not super cheap. They're $5-6 grand for one that nowadays. That was like early COVID when everything was cheap for some reason.
That's right.
I don't think you could find one in decent shape for $5 grand, $6 grand or so. Unless it has an irresponsible amount of aftermarket parts bolted to it.
Let's see how Garth Ankeny takes this jump in his Saab 96.
Ooh.
Nice and smooth from Garth.
Moving fast though, not going slow.
No, not at all. Garth knows one speed, and it's go. And he can help you go with tires for your car, race car, rally car, truck, tow rig, whatever you need.
Trailer.
Trailer. Yeah, you can get trailer tires from him too.
Can I get suspension for my rally car from him?
I don't know if he does rally car suspension, but he can definitely help you with your street car suspension and getting everything lined
I was
up.
going to say, he also could align it after he replaces that suspension for you. So you put tires on, suspension, alignment on the road, good to go 20, 30,000 miles, right?
Absolutely. Well, as long as you don't hit any curbs
Well,
or do any
just
boy
don't
jumps.
just don't chatney it and you'll be fine.
This is going to be Jordan Worley and Selena Tapia in their Impreza with a nice roll over the jump. Find that gear. Tell those synchros they don't know what they're doing.
Okay, that's fine. I think it's literally behind that Dirtfish banner right now.
Of course it is.
That's fine then.
Next up, we're going to have the classic Subaru Legacy Turbo of Steve Greer and Kendra Miller.
In that Colin McRae livery, if you didn't catch this yesterday, that's actually a throwback to a real race car that Colin McRae drove in the, late 80s, early 90s, that era?
Early 90s, yep, when Subaru campaigned the Legacy Turbo.
Before the Impreza existed.
It was, I believe, 91 through 94, but someone can correct me. Nice jump from Steve there.
That was some air.
Absolutely.
No lifting for him.
No, not at all. You can hear the flare of the engine. The RPMs rise. And if they're going fast enough, they'll hit rev limiter.
Wop, 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 wop. Yeah, always cool to see those retro throwback liveries. Surprised I haven't seen someone in a long time with like a 555 livery.
Yeah, that is interesting that we haven't seen that, but I don't know. Maybe someone will do it eventually.
They gotta, I guess, maybe mimic an early Ford livery of some form on a Fiesta of some sort now. It's not so much that you could. There's less people racing GCs. Let's flip that around that way, right?
That is true. There is a finite amount of GCs in this world, and they are kind of noodles.
Endangered species.
Endangered noodles. That was Miguel and Jimmy. They're Super Impreza, taking it nice and easy over the jump. We're down to the last 7 cars here. And then we will hop off here and give you guys a break from listening to us yap and get everything moved over to the spectator area.
About, 2 hours, you'll see us live again, something like that?
Pull up the schedule right now, which is on our social media page.
It is.
We should be live at 1:30 p.m. today Pacific time, so quite a while.
Oh yeah, there's a lunch break in there.
There is a nice lunch break. We're gonna enjoy it.
Cars go back to service. They get new tires. If you guys haven't been to Rally before, we'll let you know about service here after this car goes by.
Very slow roll over that. They don't want to get any air in that TI.
So these race cars, these rally cars, obviously need some help and work throughout the day. They can't drive these 2 full days without getting tires, fuel, etc. And so throughout the series of stages, there's what's called service, and they have teams usually. Sometimes they got to do it themselves back at what's called the service park, where they have a setup in their truck and trailer and tools and spare parts, and they go back there and swap tires, nut and bolt check the entire car, add fluids. There's also a refueling station where they refill their cars out there, and then they come back out for another set of stages. So what they're doing this morning, this is their first stage. They'll go to another stage, which is Shadowbuck.
They've got Shadowbuck, they've got Nagel's Revenge, and they've got Starve Out. 4 stages in a loop.
That they'll do. Then they'll go to service, and then they'll do Boyd again. So they've got some stuff to do before Alex is doing his best to fall over backwards again. They got some stages to do, a service to do, and then they'll be live coming to you through the cameras again. Maybe next year we'll be able to expand this to cover an extra stage on Sunday. We'll see.
It's the Whistling Chevrolet Sonic.
Yep. I'm so confused by that sound that car makes.
I think it's the roof scoop.
It's just like so distracting that car just like gently whistles while it races. It's not like a screaming annoying whistle either. It's like a gentle, like almost like a bird whistle.
Indeed. That was Kevin Sheldon, Arthur Hedderly
It is like a
Smith.
teapot. Katie's got a good point.
And next up, Jacob Sturgeon and Izzy Cook.
Send
in
it, boy.
Devastator.
Let's go, Jacob. Hey, I heard the tires leave the ground. I can confirm that.
The tires did leave the ground.
And Jacob has that fancy rally suspension we keep mentioning. Some cars are running what you would go to O'Reilly's, are one of the sponsors of this event, and purchase, a standard strut and shock combo. Some of these cars are running what we're calling rally suspension as a general term, but that'd be like DMS, Rigers, Yellow Speed, anyone else?
Samsonas, Intrax, Baratex.
Yeah, like all those. All these brands you've never heard of.
X-Attack.
And the suspension itself can easily cost more than the price of the car. I know the suspension on Jacob's car was like around over $15,000 all said and done, or something ridiculous.
Yeah, the suspension on Jacob's car is quite nice.
Yeah. And that's more than my truck is worth. So they are willing to invest a lot of money to ensure that when they go over this jump, the wheels and all the parts of the car stay intact and attached to it the way they expect it to be. Because they're also, racing through these stages at 100 miles an hour, and sometimes there's a rock in the middle of the road.
Indeed. There goes the Honda Civic.
First rally for those guys. Good to see them back out there after having a rough first stage yesterday, or they pulled off a little bit. They had their flashes on coming up Mary Hill.
Yep.
It's good to see them back out at speed. It's never, it's unfortunate to see someone having to transit a stage.
Yeah, they got flat-toed out of Dalles Mountain 1 as well, unfortunately.
They got flat-toed once. I just couldn't remember when.
Not sure what exactly happened, but maybe Dylan talked to them this morning. So
True, maybe you guys know and we don't even know.
Yeah.
You guys might actually have more brains than us on that.
you could tell us in the chat if you want.
Tell us in the chat if you know. That should be close to our last car, right?
We have 3 more. Next car will be Bo and Arnie in their Subaru Impreza.
Okay.
And then Bill Baxter and Tyler Hoffeditz in the Ford Focus.
Okay.
And the last car on the road is Herbie.
Oh, yeah, we got
fan
Herbie.
favorite, driven by Brian Donnelly and Katie Burns.
That's so awesome to see him continuing to push on regardless all weekend.
Absolutely. Half the fun is just finishing.
Drive your own race, man. You got this.
There they go.
I mean, that's something that's also to be said about, we keep talking about Stephen Red Racing and, these Fiesta Rally 3, Rally 4, Rally 2, Rally 5, bunch of rocket ships, essentially, right? Yeah. We look at the cars that Subaru Motorsports brings out, and Travis Pastrana's ARA25L, like, that's a rocket ship. That's still over $100,000 car if you were to go buy it.
Double or triple that at least.
Not really attainable, but something to be said about taking a classic Volkswagen Beetle, putting a cage in it, and doing absolutely as fast as that car can go every single stage, and still not, exceeding 50, 60 miles an hour in some cases, but having an absolute blast. Being able to flog a low-power car is a lot of fun because you really get to drive the car as fast as it can go.
Absolutely. Here is Brian Baxter rolling over the jump.
And I had a 1.8-liter Impreza coupe at one point, and that was one of my favorite cars because you just drive it, you'd have it floored everywhere, and you would never exceed the speed limit.
They are quite fun, and it does teach you in an underpowered car how to carry your speed through corners to make you faster.
That weight transfer and momentum shift is a lot more vital when you don't have the power to build that momentum back up.
Indeed. All right. This will be the last car on course. Brian Donnelly, that is all 50 cars started today. So that is really exciting to see.
Yeah.
We couldn't say that yesterday.
No, that's on the first day that we didn't even have all 50s. So coming on through, he's actually moving pretty good right now.
I would agree with that. He's moving at a good pace for that little bug that makes
Sounds like a little breakup
approximately
happening, maybe.
37 horsepower or something like
Sounds like
that.
it might be breaking up just a little bit, but he's certainly moving faster than when he was moving downhill yesterday.
Yes, that downhill, as we talked yesterday, is very tricky.
And he's probably got some drum brakes on that and some
yeah.
real fade.
Definitely.
Unless they've
Yeah,
done some big upgrades to the years, but
Thank you guys for joining us.
yes.
We will be back at 1:30 or 1 o'clock? One of those.
something
I can't
like
even
that.
remember what I said. 1:30. We'll be back at 1:30 with the final live stream on stage. And then this evening around 3:45 to 4 o'clock, we will be going live from the podium ceremonies and doing driver interviews as they come into impound. So make sure you stop in for that one. Ask drivers questions on the live stream.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you to our sponsors. We'll see you in a little bit.
I'm Alex.
I'm also Alex.
Have a good one.
Not Alex. This is Austin. Sorry. It's a bad joke.
I'm also Austin.
Oh, crap.